Call out y'all about Shin Yahusha. Shalom. Shalom to the elect, to the apostles and the elders and all the other teachers. I just want to go in on this topic about this Space Force situation. Because these devils, they know what's coming, like, real soon. That's why all these chariots and all this shit been popping up. So, you got Canada talking about their Space Force. Russia been doing their stuff too, and the U.S. China also been talking about they've been going to the moon, which they've been playing around. But they saying they going up there though, so I'm gonna just let this play and I'm gonna go into some scriptures.
Space race. Countries are now scrambling to save their players in space too. Case in point, a Canadian military expert has come out to say that Canada needs a space force too. Matthew Overton is the executive director of the Conference of Defense Associations Institute, and before that, he served in the Canadian Forces for 39 years. And in a recent interview, he said that President Trump's idea of creating a space force is a good one, and that Canada should follow suit. He also recognized that Canada would face the same challenges as Trump now faces, figuring out how a new military branch would interact with the others. If you take away responsibilities like GPS management from other branches and give them to your new Space Force, you take away part of the old agency's budget, and things can get really competitive and ugly really quickly. Then there's the fact that many people are calling for any and all of our global efforts in space to be focused on more peaceful endeavors, not new military branches.
And these devils, they don't want peace. That's not in their nature. They don't like shit to be peaceful. Look at how the earth is right now. You got war and shit, battles and shit breaking out all over the fucking planet. Even the own fucking government, ain't no peace in that shit. They don't want no peace.
Critics of both Trump's Space Force and Overton's approval of it say that militarization of space is a travesty, which could lead to a misguided, dangerous arms race in space. We should be focusing on benevolent space councils, not military space forces. But Overton was quick to point out that since we're humans, we probably can't avoid military in space.
Nah, these Edomites can't afford military in space because ultimately, the Most High gonna put the spirit on them to fight anyway. Because when they see all this shit happening, they ain't really gonna want to fight like that. But the Most High gonna put the spirit on them to make them fight. I'm gonna go into a scripture in the Book of Revelations real quick. It says in chapter 12, verse 7. In the Book of Revelations, it says, "And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him." And these devils, they're gonna fight regardless. They proud anyway. And I'm gonna let this play a little bit more. I'm gonna put up a few more scriptures real quick.
Especially considering other countries already have space forces. China actually is the only country with an already operating independent space force. Russia, the US, Britain, and France all have military space commands of some form already too. So while some people are calling the idea of space force premature, one that will push us in the wrong direction, others are saying the idea is long overdue. But no matter which way you lean, there's no doubt Space Force is an idea that's already spreading, especially if Canada's already getting in on it too. I personally am a peaceful person who tries not to war with anyone, but I do see one big positive of Space Force. Like the rest of our militaries throughout the thousands of years we've been on this planet, our space forces will probably drive innovation, meaning they could help us get off this rock sooner than later.
And you know why they want to leave this rock? Because they destroying it. That's why they want to fucking leave.
Or help us figure out how to use black holes to travel to distant galaxies.
And the Most High ain't letting their ass get no fucking way. So they can do the same shit on another planet, another galaxy. No. I'm going to the scripture right here in the book of Amos. Chapter 9, verse 2, it says, "Though they dig into hell, then shall my hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down." So they can go up there and do whatever the fuck they think they're going to do. They're getting brought down regardless. It said, verse 3, "And though they hide themselves in the top of Carmel, I will search and take them thence. and though they be hid from my sight in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command the serpent, and he shall bite them. And you read the book of Job, that serpent is Leviathan, and there's numerous of sea creatures down there that's unknown, but it's known if you read in the scriptures. It says, let's see what I'm going to go at next. And for the people that may wonder how the Most High going to do this, because He's going to do it in numerous ways. He got the serpents in the sea. He's going to pour the spiritual power on certain men, and they're going to go to work too. When you jump over into chapter 9, verse 11 in the book of Amos, it says, "In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old." Now you read about Malak Dawadah in the days of old, and what they was doing, who they was going against. They was going against these damn Edomites, these Amalekites, these Philistines, Moab, Ammon, all these heathens that got us in subjection right now. So that stuff gonna be rebuilt, and that's what these devils scared of. That's why they trying to escape and go hide out. So I'm reading the book of Obadiah, chapter 1. It's in verse 2. It says, "Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee. Though that dwellest in the cleft of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, this will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh." And you read down even more, it says in verse 6, "How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him." So when you look at these key words like confederacy, border, who doing all this stuff right now? These damn devils. And how are they things sought up? Most High put the spirit on certain men to research and bring this stuff out. He even put the spirit on certain Edomites to bring certain stuff out. So-called truthers, so they can expose them. That's why you read certain scriptures that says he should pour out his spirit upon all flesh. So that spirit has been poured out heavily. You have people having dreams, visions, people seeing signs in the heavens, like with the lunar eclipse, solar eclipse type stuff, blood moon coming up on the Shabbat, which is no coincidence. Earthquakes, volcanoes going off, the weather out of sync with the seasons. So there's all type of stuff happening right now. And that's because the Most High making that happen right now. Now you read even more in the book of Obadiah. For people to be like, oh, men ain't gonna get spiritual powers and do certain stuff. Well, breaking news. It happened before, it's definitely gonna happen again. You read the book of Obadiah, chapter 1. Verse 21. It says, "And saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's." Now, saviors are going to be the saints, the elect. So you read even more. If I'm mistaken, it's in the book of Daniel. Let me go to it real quick while I'm thinking about it. It said the saints shall take the kingdom. And how that's going to happen, the Most High going to allow it to happen. That's why you got these devils self-destructing right now. They can't even agree on what they should do right now. It's funny as hell watching it too. Just a minute, I'm about to find the scripture. That's in the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 18. This is what I was talking about. I say, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. So it ain't gonna be no little, oh, we gonna make deals and all that. No, because you got niggas, they wanna go protest and go talk with the councilmen and the governors and the senates and all that. No, ain't none of that going on. It's gonna be a time when the Most High pour out that spirit. You gonna know, because you might go outside, you might see somebody flying around, somebody might be levitating, you might see somebody sick, somebody heal them and bring them back to full health. Somebody might be blind, walking with a stick. Somebody might heal them, and they just throw that stick, and the next thing you know, you see them walking like they never was blind ever. You're gonna see somebody that's malnourished, somebody heal them, bring them back to full strength and full health. This is the type of stuff that's gonna be going on. And that's how you gonna know who the saints are. So I'm gonna play this other video real quick, and I'm gonna end this on this scripture. This is what happened recently in Louisiana. They say it's a transformer, but through the spirit, it was a chariot. Because there'll be a lot of wickedness going on in Louisiana too. So of course, the Lord gonna visit that place. And you got Mardi Gras coming up too. So while this playing, I'm gonna read the scripture in the book of 2nd Ezra. It says, and it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed the dream by night. No, 2nd Ezra chapter 13, verse 1, it say, and it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea that it moved all the waves thereof. And they ain't talking about the actual ocean. It's talking about the atmosphere. Because when scientists and all these other physicists and all that measure the space, they measure the cosmic waves also. So it says in verse 3, it says, I beheld, and lo, that man, hold on, it says, it says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with thousands of heaven. Talking about Yahweh Shai and the angels. It says that when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whenever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. And they talking about, let me cancel this real quick. It's in his direct energy weapons. Well, the chariots got direct energy weapons. That's the only reason why Esau building this stuff. So they can fight against it. They don't need that right now to fight against each other. They got nukes and shit. Let me continue reading. It says in verse 5, after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the man that came out of the sea. And that's talking about all these military. That's why they mentioned Great Britain, China, Russia, Canada trying to do it in the U.S. That's from the four winds of the earth. They try to subdue this man. Like the police always do, they see a so-called black man. What they do, they want to subdue him. So they're going to try to subdue Yahweh Shai when he come back to it. And there ain't no subduing. Ain't no shooting down or none of that. They say, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew up upon it. Now, when you see the scripture, it's a parable. It's not actually talking about a mountain. That's how big these chariots be, because personally, I actually seen the chariots myself. And these shit's huge. These ships, I should say. These ships is huge, and they move in ways that's unknown to the average man. They can't really comprehend it, but when you read the scriptures, you actually experience certain stuff, and the Most High allow you to understand this, then you can understand what it says on. I'm going to jump down to verse 9. Better yet, I'm going to stay at verse 7, just keep reading all the way through. It says, but I will have seen the region or place where the hill was graven, and I could not. That's how big this ship was. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they that were gathered together to subdue him was so afraid, and yet durst fight. Like I was mentioning before I read the book of Revelations. Because once they see this, first of all, like I said in other numerous videos, and other Akim, they said it too as well.